I just left you 2 months ago. Stop throwing in my face before I kill you.
When Armand got sent to prison, he made a decision that would ultimately seal both their fates. He trusted Tiffany with everything. Properties, businesses, investments. His entire financial portfolio went into her name while he served his time behind bars. And what did Tiffany do with that trust? She took every single dollar and built herself a whole new life. The social media posts started flowing like water. Designer bags worth more than most people's cars, luxury vehicles, exotic vacations, business after business opening up under her name. Tiffany wasn't just spending his money. She was bragging about it online like she was some self-made success story. But here's the kicker. She didn't just take his money and disappear quietly. She blocked him on social media, divorced him while he was still locked up, and got herself a whole new man, all while continuing to profit off the empire he had built. He told her to give him back what was his and move on with her life, but Tiffany had gotten too comfortable with the lifestyle his money provided. She wasn't giving up anything. Meanwhile, Armand was getting more desperate and more dangerous. He had been released from prison with nothing. No money, no property, no business to return to. The woman who was supposed to hold everything down for him had left him completely broken. And every day, he had to watch her celebrate the life she had built by destroying his. The threats started coming through third parties. People who knew both Armand and Tiffany were trying to warn her that she was pushing a dangerous man to his absolute limit. But Tiffany wasn't backing down. If anything, she seemed to be enjoying the power she held over him. She had everything. He had nothing. And she was making sure he knew it every single day. Audio recordings surfaced of Armand completely losing his mind, and these messages revealed just how far over the edge this situation had pushed him.
I snap on him because I look at you different. Why the f*** did you worry about my baby mom? I don't give it. Yo, if you ever was to talk to nigga, she'd tell you that.
I would never talk to that bitch. That bitch ain't on my level. She ain't the fuck nothing to me, and she never been in my circle. She never been around me. I didn't know that bitch.
And you've been bringing it up, bringing it up, bringing it up. So now I'm gonna give you what you want. To touch you again. I'm never physically gonna hurt you. You married this. I'm blowing this head off on everything I love. I'm going back to prison.
Prison didn't scare him anymore because she had already taken everything that mattered. But Tiffany kept pushing. More posts, more celebrations, more flaunting of the wealth she had stolen. She was playing Russian roulette with a loaded gun, and everyone around her could see it except her. October 7th, 2023. A regular Thursday afternoon in Philadelphia. Tiffany decides to take her son to get his haircut at a barbershop on the 2500 block of West Lehigh Avenue. Just another routine day in what she thought was her perfectly constructed new life. What Tiffany didn't know was that Armand had been tracking her movements. He knew her routines, knew where she would be, knew when she would be vulnerable. And on this day, he had made his decision. Around 1:45 p.m., witnesses inside the barbershop noticed a man walk through the front door. The atmosphere immediately changed. You could feel the tension in the air as Armand Hilton stepped into the shop, his eyes scanning the room until they landed on Tiffany. She was sitting there with her son, just waiting for a haircut, a normal moment in what she thought was a normal day. But the moment she saw Armand, she knew her past had finally caught up with her. Witnesses later described seeing Tiffany try to shield her son as Armand approached. She knew what was coming. Armand pulled out a gun in front of a barbershop.
People got a lot of money and they just think they can do whatever they want. They think, they can get away with anything. But ain't nobody invincible, man. It don't matter how much money you got. It don't matter. You can still get touched. You can still get shot up. It don't matter how much billions you got or how much millions you got. There's been a lot of rich people who got money and still dead. This woman just killed herself because she's been greedy, selfish. She just killed herself. If someone worked that hard, to build an empire, went to jail, trusted you with that empire, the reasonable thing you could do is just preserve the money. Maybe you build some business. But when he came out of that jail, you should be the first person welcoming that person. Even if you blow them money, Let's say you go crazy on shopping and you buy stupid shit. The respectful thing you should do to a person that entrusted you with that much money is at least meet him up, stop avoiding him, meet up with him, have a conversation with him, and be like, yo, I spent some part of that money or whatever. I got 50%. You can manage this for now, whatever. Have a conversation with him. This shit wouldn't have escalated to this problem right now. When I saw the story on Twitter, I'm like, it just shows how greedy we human can be. I'm putting myself there too because, I'm not perfect. Sometimes, you can be selfish or greedy or something. Human can be really greedy. This is one of humans' biggest problem. Selfishness, greediness, jealousy and shit like that. Because this woman has no reason not to meet up with this dude, especially if they've dated before and he gave you that much money. Come on. But she got the money and she thought she was invincible. She thought she could get away with it. Like a lot of women do, entitlement. Then she got shot. Because when you're dealing with people like that, people that just came out of jail, from prison, these people got nothing to lose. Especially if this person has been in for a long time, he's got nothing to lose. And I don't think this dude is expecting you to keep dating him. He don't give a shit. He just want his money back. He just want his half of the money, whatever. Just give him something to start his life. He just came out of jail. The least you can do is set up his life, put him in an apartment, pay for like a year, whatever. Just do something to set him up. Instead of you avoiding his call and lying to him and shit. That's why you got shot. And I saw this video on Twitter and people saying, oh yeah, this dude shouldn't have killed a woman. I get it. It's still murder, man. I understand. I'm not trying to justify that. But you got to understand, this person is coming out of jail. He's frustrated. He's angry. He has nothing to lose. The last thing he wants is some woman running away from him with his money. This is his money. I saw on Twitter people saying, oh yeah, he did something bad to get the money. I don't give a shit what he did to get the money. It's still his money. Sometimes you just gotta respect yourself and, do the right thing. I know it's so hard for a lot of humans to do that because everyone's selfish nowadays. Everybody's, disrespectful, selfish, rude, whatever. But sometimes you just gotta do the right thing, man. If you don't do the right thing, you fuck with the wrong person, you got shot. I saw this video and I was like, she could have avoided this whole conversation. She could have just met up with him and give him some percentage of the money. That's all she had to do. But she felt like she got money, she could do whatever she wants, she would get away with it, something like that. But you forgot, you're living unhurt, man. It don't matter how much billions you got. Come on. That's just being selfish. Especially if someone trusted you that much to, give you that much money to keep for him. Someone like that you don't fuck with. You don't play with someone like that. At the end of the day, it's so sad. She got shot. She's dead. He's probably gonna go back to jail. I don't think he gives a shit at this point. But don't play with some certain people, man. That's why I usually tell some, the women in my family, like, yo, there's some certain people you don't mess with. Sometimes we're talking about money here, but it could be dates. These are a lot of women get themselves in trouble. You go on a date, you don't want to date the guy, but then you keep playing with him, using him for food, using him for pizza, using him for taxi. Then one day he gets mad and boom, he did some stupid shit to you. That's why I usually tell people in my family, yo, man, you don't know what kind of man you're messing with. Don't play with some type of man. They don't mind going to jail. There's some Southern men, they're done with life. They don't mind going to jail. They don't mind killing you. So if you know you ain't got nothing to do with this person, don't deceive this person. And if you know you got something to do with this person, just tell them the truth and let them know how it's gonna go and shit. This woman just killed herself, man. She got shot in the asylum. That's bad, man. That's really bad. But anyway, man, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section, man. Please like and subscribe to my channel, man. I'm out of